All right, this is the tutorial to make a like an armature using zSpheres and zSketch in order to produce a model, like a base mesh for a character. Okay, so I'm just going to do a generic human. So start obviously with a new thing here. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to go over to Tools. Okay, so I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to select zSphere. Oops, and I'm going to undo that. Undo. There we go. So I'm going to select zSphere. I'm going to draw the first one. I'm just going to hold Shift so it snaps. But you don't have to do that. So voila, there's the first one. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and hit Edit or T, and that will be where my sphere starts off. Now, right now, I need to also hit X to do X symmetry, or you can always just go to Transform and just activate symmetry and make sure it's on X, and that way it will be symmetrical, because typically bipeds and other creatures typically are symmetrical. All right, I'm going to go to the top, and what you'll notice is that when it gets, see how it kind of snaps together? That means that it's going to put it in the center. If I do it here, it's going to make two separate ones, which is not what I want. Okay, so I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to draw a zSphere. Okay, I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to draw another zSphere. All right, so you always are going to start like that. You have a middle one and then a top and a bottom one. All right. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold Shift and get to the side view here. I'm going to go ahead and use the move, and I'm just going to kind of pull this. This is basically this will be my chest area, this will be kind of the stomach, and this will be my pelvis. Okay, I may need to scale those, but for now that should work. All right, so next what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and do my neck, which will be up here. So I'm going to go back to the draw mode, and I'm going to draw where the base of the neck's going to go, so something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to draw another one roughly the same size, and this one I need like a starting point and an end point to this. So I'm going to go back to the move tool, and I am going to pull this. Oops, so you see how big my brush is? It's making it so it's grabbing multiple ones. I'm just going to hold the space bar. I'm going to hold the space bar here, and I'm going to draw make the draw size smaller. See how now, I'm still selecting it. Hang on a second, make it smaller than that, I guess. Oh, that's being dumb. All right, I'm gonna pull that down. So I'll pull that like that. All right, yada yada yada. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and draw another one. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the draw tool or Q, and I'm gonna draw. This will actually be the head. Okay, and I'm just gonna go to here and do the move tool again, W, which apparently keeps grabbing that middle one for some reason. Okay. Let's see, there we go. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to hit E for the scale, and I'm just going to scale this up a little bit. Alright, actually like that, and then I'm going to go back to Q for the draw tool, and I'm going to make where the jaw is going to come from, so like that, and we'll call that good for now. Okay, so obviously a lot of this could use some scaling and various otherness, so let me go ahead and scale that down and move that over. Okay, so we're going to call that our basic guy. So if you look at my costal region here, that could also use a little bit of scaling. So I'm going to hit the scale tool, and I'm just going to kind of try and scale this a little bit wider so he has more of a chest. Okay, like so. And I'm going to start doing my arm. So I got to do where my deltoid or shoulder is going to be. So I'm going to switch to the draw tool again. Kind of go to the side here, and I'm going to draw roughly the shoulder. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw again. Okay, because this is going to be where the elbow comes out. So go to the side here, W, pull this down. Let's see if this will work better actually with my mouse. This is one of those things. I'm using a tablet, but well, it's just a long story. Anyway, this is actually easier with a mouse, so you can actually just go ahead and use a mouse. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and just scale that down a little bit. Just I hit E for the scale tool. So I got kind of his arm coming out. Then I'm going to hit back to the draw tool. I'm going to draw where, that's the elbow, so next is going to be this wrist here. Got the move tool on. Try and grab just the one. Alright, there we go. And I'm looking to kind of make the A pose, which is sort of a rest pose. Okay, beautiful. Put that back down this way a little bit. Okay, I'm going to scale this one down a little bit more. Then I'm just going to go back to the draw tool, so Q, draw the where the palm's going to be. Okay, use the move tool a little bit here. keeps grabbing. Alright, let's just pull this out and then kind of pull that back. There we go. Pull this back in. Alright, so we'll call that good. It could be a little bit this way. Okay. Take this elbow back a touch. Alright, so we'll call that good. Now I'm gonna do the main base here, and then we'll kind of work from other stuff. So I'm gonna got the draw. Okay, so draw tool again, and I'm gonna draw where the acetabulum, or where the legs will come off of. Don't be careful not to go too low. You're actually better off kind of going higher, on more horizontal as opposed to vertical. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. I'm just gonna pull this down a little bit like that. That looks good. Back to the draw tool. Boom. Alright, and then I'm going to use the move tool and pull that down, pull these guys back up where they were. Okay, you kind of want to make an underwear line. Notice this nice V shape here. Take this like so. This has got to get scaled. I made that way too big. Alright, good. And I'm also going to move this forward a little bit. Alright, and then we're going to use the draw tool again. So I'm at Q for the draw. And I'm going to go ahead and draw this out back here. Move tool. Okay, let's try that again. Pull this up again. Okay. Yada, yada, yada. This needs to be a little bit larger. Okay. You can really fuss with this. I'm not going to. Q. I'm going to draw where the foot comes out. And pull this out. Pull this back. Alright, something like that. Use the scale, E. Alright, use the move, W. Pull that down. Okay, it's not great, but it'll do for now. I don't really want to get too carried away. So next it's just the hands. I'm just going to do that real quick. This part's kind of clunky, but you just got to do what you can with what you got. So I'm going to go back to the draw tool, Q, and I'm going to draw a thumb. So what might actually be better is that you might accidentally, so I actually put one inside there. It's actually better just to double click to kind of like clear out the tool and then start again. So I'm going to kind of do that. Double click. Okay. Double click. Okay. Double click. Oh, see, I accidentally put it in there. Double click. And we're going to call that good. Okay. So we're just going to kind of try and position these as best I can. So I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to kind of move this one over. Move that one over. That one over. And this pinky's like way off. Get that one closer. Alright, so it's not too bad. Probably take this thumb and pull this one this way a little bit. Put that back up there. Okay. And I would resize those, but for the sake of trying to speed this up. So now I'm just going to go back to the draw tool, Q. I'm just going to draw. If I hold shift, it'll actually snap it to the size. See, when I tap shift, to the size of the previous one. Double click over here, click here, and hold shift. Click here, hold shift. Click here, hold shift. Click here, hold shift. Okay. Oops. I think I just accidentally put one over there. Now what I'm going to do is after I made those, I'll just use the move tool. Being really fussy for me, but and oops, didn't want that. Kind of pull that down, put you back where you were. Okay. Alright, and then take this one, pull that one down, back up, pull down, back up, pull down. Man, this is like really acting weird. Hang on one second. Good, that's exactly what I wanted. Sorry, I didn't want to waste a bunch of time just trying to lay that out. So just try to position them as best you can. I try to keep these as short as possible. So I kind of just move them around. I just pull them straight down. And next what I'm going to do is just do the draw tool. And I'm just going to draw one in here, one in here, one in here, one in here. Basically in the middle. This is just represent the knuckles. Then I'll take the move tool. And I'm just going to kind of try and pull these outwards. Oops, that's not the one. And pull it outwards. Pull this back a little. Pull this one outwards. There we go. Pull this one outwards. And pull you back a little bit. And the thumb, pull that one out. Okay. And good. So, yay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and save this, Control S, and I'm just going to save right to the desktop because I'm going to delete this after. And let's call this zSphere tutorial. Okay. So save that first before you do anything because you never really know. It's kind of weird. So now if you hit A, it should shell, but make sure you save it before you do that because sometimes it doesn't work correctly, which I'm sure some of you know by now. Now what you could do is you could use that, and that's all fine and dandy, and honestly that's the one I would use. But if you did want to use zSketch, you can actually go ahead and go over here to zSketch, and you click Edit Sketch, and then make sure you're on the Draw tool, and then basically you can draw, if I make my brush size considerably smaller, you can draw a little bit bigger, muscles on here, such as this, and then just draw them, and then hold Shift to smooth them, like so. Okay. That one got gigantic for some reason. Just kind of trying to brush this. All right, it's great. Looks amazing. Okay. Okay. All right. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Kind of try and make my rectus abdominis. Alright, some legs. Okay. So on and so forth. Some knees. Gastrix. Soleus, which is the part underneath. Gastric knee. Okay. Lovely. Yay. Alright, thanks. I don't know what that was. Okay. So just kind of keep going like that. Do a nice job. Right? So now if I were to hit A now, what it's going to do is it's going to preview just the part that I sketched, okay? So obviously I didn't do that good of a job. Let me give him some more buttocks here. He needs more butt, right? Okay. So now if I hit A, you'll see I'll get like a preview, but you'll notice that like I don't have the hands, and if I try to draw fingers, it's going to be really crummy. There is actually a way kind of around this that it will use the adaptive skin as opposed to unified skin. Unified skin is what zSketch does. So what you could do is you could take off Edit Sketch and put on Show Sketch. It'll show it. Then what you can do is you go to Adaptive Skin, and now if you hit Preview, you'll see that it actually pushes the adaptive skin over the zSketch, as long as they're within size limits of each other. Now if I up my intensity to something like 5, is usually pretty good, you'll see it gives me a closer approximation. And what's nice is, if you look, the topology is still good. The topology when you do the other one is just not as nice, okay? Yeah, so then you'd have that, right? So I'm just going to take the preview off. So I'm just going to go ahead and make adaptive skin. It's going to look like it did nothing, but what it actually did is it made a new piece of topology up here. So let's go Shift F. A. Okay, so I just clicked on it over here, and then it popped open, and now this is a model that I can actually start sculpting on and doing what I feel would be necessary. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And then you have your guy. Okay, so obviously you'd want to spend more, if you're going to do the zSketch, I spend more time on making that look nicer, and you can go ahead and do that. You'll notice that it actually, because we set it to 5 for going to geometry, I still have all these subdivision levels, so you can actually go pretty low. But you're going to want to generally go high when you do that setting, so that well, now it's not up here, but so that it'll adapt it well. Okay, and that is it. So good luck.